In today's video, we are going to meet a farmer who lives in a haunted house. But before we start the video, make sure to subscribe so that you won't miss any new stories. The old farmer was having a hard time keeping his farm. The crops were failing and the animals kept escaping. One day, he found out that someone or something was destroying his fields and scaring his animals. It was a ghost! The ghost of a young woman had been haunting the farm for years. She would walk through the fields, uprooting crops and scaring the animals. The farmer had no idea why she was haunting his farm, but he was determined to find out. He started by talking to the locals to see if they knew anything about the ghost. They told him that the ghost had been there for as long as they could remember, and that she was known to haunt the farm. No one knew her name, but they all agreed that she needed to be laid to rest. The farmer decided to do just that. He hired a priest to come and perform an exorcism, but it didn't do anything. The ghost continued to haunt the farm, and the priest ended up leaving without doing anything. The farmer was desperate. He didn't know what else to do. He couldn't afford to lose his farm, but he couldn't run it if a ghost was haunting it. Just when he was about to give up, he met an old woman who lived on the outskirts of town. She was known for her knowledge of herbs and her ability to communicate with the dead. The farmer went to her house and explained his situation. She listened to him patiently and then told him that she knew how to help him. She gave him a small vial filled with a strange liquid and told him to put it on the ghost's grave. The next day, the farmer went to the graveyard and found the ghost's grave. He had no idea where it was, but as soon as he started digging, he found a skeleton wearing clothes from the Victorian era. He carefully dug around the skeleton until he found the vial and placed it on top of the grave. As he was about to leave, he heard a voice. "Thank you." The farmer turned around and saw the ghost standing in front of him. She was a beautiful young woman with long flowing hair and a sad expression on her face. "Who are you?" the farmer asked. "Why have you been haunting my farm?" The ghost looked at him sadly and said, "I am the ghost of Elizabeth Brighton. I was born on this farm over 100 years ago. My parents were wealthy landowners, but we were forced to sell the farm when my father lost his fortune. I was only 18 when we had to leave. I couldn't bear the thought of leaving my home, so I stayed behind. I tried to make the new owners leave by haunting them, but it only made them call me a crazy girl and ignore me. Eventually, I died of a broken heart." As she was saying this, the farmer noticed a ring on her finger. It was a simple silver band with a small diamond in the middle. "Was this ring important to you?" he asked. Elizabeth looked at the ring and a single tear rolled down her cheek. "It was my engagement ring. I was engaged to a young man named Thomas. We were planning to elope and run away from this life, but I never got the chance. He died in the war before I could tell him that I was leaving." She looked at the farmer and smiled sadly. "Thank you for listening to my story. Now I can finally move on." With that, she vanished into thin air. The farmer picked up the ring and looked at it. He knew exactly what he had to do. He took the ring and the skeleton back to the farm and buried them in the field. The next day, he woke up to the sound of singing. He looked out the window and saw Elizabeth dancing in the field with a young man. They were laughing and playing, and the farmer couldn't help but smile. Elizabeth and Thomas had finally found each other again, and the ghost of the farm was laid to rest.